because I knew that all that time I had been off, my disability money ran out months ago. I barely had money to go to the movies that day, but I needed to go. My wedding ring, and y'all know I'm divorced, I still wear it because I love it. My ex-husband and I, we share the house together now. We're in the same house, but we're divorced. My wedding ring, I knew I was short on money. I pawned it. I had never been in a pawn shop in my life. I had just pawned it a week before. I had never been in a pawn shop in my life. My diamond studs in my ear that cost me a whole lot of money, I pawned them all the week before because I was trying to pay that car note. And I still didn't have enough. Because at the pawn shop, they're going to give you what it's worth. I barely had money to just put gas in the car and get us something to eat. So when Nezzy came running to the bathroom saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, the man is trying to take your car," I said, "Okay, I'll be right there." I washed my hands. I came in the dining room. I got the keys. And I went outside and I said, I need to get my stuff out. And he said, "Okay, I have to get it out for you." Okay. I hand him the keys. And Nezzy said, "Mommy, why is he taking her car?" And I looked at my baby and I said, "Because I can't pay." And he said, "Huh?" And I said, "No more." And he said, "But Mommy, what are we going to do? How am I going to get to school? How are you going to deliver the cupcakes, Mommy?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out." And Jamie said, "Well, do you still want to go?" Mm-hmm. She said, "Well, Regina, we don't have to go to the movies." I said, "No, we need to go to the movies." And I got my purse and I got in the car, and as Jamie drove off, tears just streamed down my face. And I was silent all the way to the movie. I got to the movie and I tried to be like everything was okay, but it wasn't. Because now I didn't know what I was going to do. The Lord already gave me my signs, though, that I could retire. But now my car is repossessed, my wedding ring, my diamond studs are all at the pawn shop, and I still didn't have enough money to take care of my basic necessities. How am I going to retire and my car just got taken out the driveway? I knew I was behind. Why do you think I went to the pawn shop for the first time in my life? But again, I just got these signs. I just got these 3 clear confirmations that I asked for it to be clear. Should I still retire? Can I really do this? I can't retire now. And I said, that blows that plan. And as a couple of days went on, I said, no, you've got to do this. You asked for it. You ask the Lord to make a way. I don't know what the answer is, how he's going to make the way, but you asked for it. You asked for clear confirmation, Regina. He gave you the clear confirmation. It doesn't matter what your situation looks like in the natural. It doesn't matter, thank you, Lisa, that your car has now been taken. It doesn't matter that your ring and your diamond studs that you cherish are in the pawn shop. You ask the Lord to do something for you. You ask him to give you a sign. So are you going to trust him, or are you going to believe what it looks like in the natural? I had to trust the Lord, and I had to leap and not look. I had to not look at my situation. I had to not look at what I didn't have. I had to not look that people in my family owed me money and hadn't paid me yet. I couldn't look at any of that. It was time for me to do something because I asked if I could do this. This is why my baby came up here and said it doesn't matter what it looks like in the natural, because I say it all the time. It doesn't matter that it looked like it was easy for this production today, because it wasn't. It doesn't matter that I look cute with this new cute little wig on, this new dress, this new shoes, the lunch. It doesn't matter that it looks like it was easy, because my team can tell you that it wasn't. We had to leap. My manager had to get on me and say, Regina, you know what's ahead. You know we've got to do this. Because we got to take you beyond where you thought you could go. You've got to do this. It's your time to leap. Go for it. You've come this far. What have you been praying on? What have you been asking for? Are you going to stop now? I couldn't stop now. Even if it was risky, even if I couldn't see straight ahead down the tunnel, I got to trust God and believe him that if he brought me this far to Pelican Hill and I ain't had no money, he got something for me, y'all. He's got something amazing planned for me. I told this the other night on Facebook, and I had never mentioned it. I came here back in May to schedule all of this. They told me how much it was. I had the money, no problem. They said, we're going to take the deposit on this day. We're going to take something else in 30 more days, and then 14 days before that, we'll take the final. Well, they never had charged my card. And I kept looking at my checks. I said, they're going to take the deposit. 30 days came. They still hadn't taken the deposit. What are they going to still give it to me? I emailed the people. Oh, I have an event scheduled on August 19th. Just want to make sure that we're good. Everything is fine. Oh, yes, we have everything in together. We're looking forward to you at the Pelican Hill and da-da-da-da. I told my oldest daughter, Toya, they never charged my card. She was like, really? Are you sure? You know, you buy a lot of stuff. I said, no, I've been looking at my statement. I look online all the time, and they never charged it. She said, oh, just wait. Must be some favor from the Lord. Well, to make a long story short, Nezzy and I just checked in here yesterday. We didn't really know if we were going to be able to stay on the property or not for the event because it was pricey. But the Lord worked it out. We were able to stay here. Well, after we had already been here for about 5 hours, catering calls, and she says, oh, Regina, you know, accounting just called. I was like, here it is. I said, yes, Danielle. Well, accounting just called, and apparently they never charged your deposit. I said, are you sure? I knew damn well she was sure. I knew that. And she says, yes. She said, you know, I can't believe that they did an error like that. I said, wow. And I said, well, go ahead and charge the card. Oh, we already did. And I said, oh. I said, well, I did get a text from Chase. And I was wondering why the incidentals were so high. You know, they take your card. Oh, we need to run your card. We're going to put $100 on for incidentals. Well, over here, they ain't put no 100. I put a couple thousand. And I was like, oh, is that what that was? Oh. And she said, well, the other half, we can only do a certain amount, and the other half didn't go through. Oh, take this business card. Because Gina Inspires LA is an LLC now. And you don't just have to use my personal card. You can use this business card. And I said, just charge it on this one, the other half. Oh, thank you so much. She said, but I just don't understand. All the way from May, they never charged you. I said, thank you. Because from now to May, I had to dip into some of those funds for my own personal living expense. So all the money wasn't there. And I was trying to figure it out. But see, I really didn't have to figure it out. And I should have knew that I didn't have to figure it out because I got Jesus on my side. And so from now until May, they never took a dime. Who does that? I mean, really, who does that, Sabrina? Who never takes a dime from you? If you've been a vendor at somebody's event, they want that money. They gonna check all the books, cross all the T's and I's, and say, okay, we got her deposit, we got Kim's, we got Graham's, we got hers. Okay, everybody's in. Okay, we ain't got your deposit, Lisa. You got your deposit because if you ain't got it, you can't be a vendor. But they never took my money. And all of it wasn't there. But by the time they needed it yesterday, it was all there. Plus some. telling you guys in a nutshell, without taking all of your time, you've got to leap. Don't look at your situation. Trust God. You've got to put him first. Even if something seems like it's unreal, like it can't happen, like that's just, you know, I would like that, but it's not possible. Because the Lord says you can have what you say and stop saying what you have. And I used to be so guilty of that. And Ernest would always correct me. I would say, oh, I can't afford it. I can't do it. I don't have enough money. I just can't afford it. He would say, stop saying that. Now, he's not always the most positive person. He's just not. But he would always say that to me. He would correct me like, Regina, stop saying you can't afford it. Stop saying you don't have it. So now I never say that. Even if my bank account doesn't reflect that, even if what's in my wallet doesn't reflect that, I never say I don't have enough. I never say I can't afford it. I never say that I can't do it. I say, you know what, I'm going to try to see how I'm going to work that out. Because I don't know how I, in the physical, am going to work that out, but I know the Lord is going to work it out for me, and I believe that. And I tell anybody and everybody, that's what I believe in. My manager, Michael, we're discussing some things that we need to do. And he says, well, we're going to try. I said, no, we're going to do it. I said, I told you we only speak the positive end result that we want. And he's like, you're right, Regina. You're right. So this is what we're going to do, Regina, and this is how we're going to do it. Okay, all we got to do is pray on it. It's going to happen. That's what I teach my son. That's what I teach my kids. Believe whatever that you want, that is yours, and that you can have it, and that you can do it. You have to be patient, you have to be persistent, and you have to believe. If I didn't believe that I could have this conference today, I would have never had it. If I didn't believe that I could become a speaker, I wouldn't even be up here. Come here, Bree. This one right here, Sabrina. If anybody lives in LA, you know her business. You've heard of it for years. Braids by Sabrina. She's been a business owner for over 20 years. I met Sabrina. I knew her business, but I never knew her personally. I met Sabrina a couple of years ago at Lisa Nichols' conference. You guys know Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols and I grew up together. I met Shidell at Lisa Nichols' conference through somebody else. Me and Sabrina both grew up. Sabrina grew up. Her story is amazing. Got thrown away at, 2 years old? 3 months old. 3 months old. Her mother put her in a suitcase to get rid of her. Amazing story. Sabrina beat all the odds. Sabrina ain't even supposed to be here because they wanted to get rid of her at 3 months. But Sabrina is here, a business owner of 20 years, and she's an amazing motivational speaker. Sabrina talked to me and said, Regina, you really need to go to Toastmasters. I was like, yeah, I heard of it, but I don't know. No, Regina, you need to go to Toastmasters. You really, really like it to help you develop your speech. You need to go to Toastmasters. She did that for a whole year, thank you, before I went. And I looked on the computer one day, and I was like, but you know what? I need to find one that's in the daytime because I don't want to drag Nezzy out at nighttime. Let me tell you what the Lord did again. Seriously, no joke. I went on the computer, I looked it up, and I was looking for one in the daytime. I found a class in the daytime. Come here, Michael. I found a class in the daytime, and not only was it in the daytime. Come here, Jackie, don't try it. Come on. Not only was the class in the daytime, but it was at my old courthouse. It was at the Inglewood Courthouse, where I worked for 10 years, and they wouldn't promote me to the next level when all you had to do was do an interview and put in the application. The court administrator wouldn't even give me my DC-2. It was called a Deputy Clerk 2. I stayed at 1 for 10 years at that particular court because they wouldn't take me to the next level. But then years later, when Sabrina convinced me finally go to Toastmasters, and I look up one that's in the daytime, it's at Inglewood Court, I was like, oh my God, this is where I'm supposed to be. Who gets something that they need at their old job. Where I used to go 8 to 5, and now I'm going 12 o'clock in the daytime because I want to be an entrepreneur. And Jackie Jones and Michael Jones are Toastmasters at that club, Justice Masters. Michael pours into me every Thursday. So I invited these two here today as my guests because I appreciate them. I appreciate being able to go there on Thursdays for 1 hour in the afternoon to develop my craft so I could be all that I can be. So I wanted this couple to come up here today because I just wanted to show you who pours into me every Thursday. And I appreciate you guys, and I'm happy that you're here today. So that's the only reason why I put you on the spot. And I hate that our president, our past president, Judge Patty Titus, is not here today. But I'm telling you guys, stop waiting. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting about what you can do. Just do it. Make it happen. If it doesn't work, who said it? Melissa or Deborah? Revamp it. Do it over. You said a do-over? You have a do-over. I'm 51. I'm having my do-over. Even though I stayed in Superior Court for 25 years, it took me that long to know who I was. It took me that long for me to come into myself with my relationship to Christ and say, you know, if you just let me, I promise you. And today, this Leave Don't Look tour is what I came up with. Because like they say, if they don't give you the job, you better create it. So I created this conference so I can talk to all of you. So I can help you with your mindset. Because maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you're unsure. Maybe you're saying, oh, maybe. No maybes, no wannabes. Do. Make it happen, whatever it is. I'm not telling you to leave your job. I'm telling you to focus and fix your mind. Because in your mind, Deborah kept saying, because in my mind, if only y'all can see it in my mind, your mind is so key. It is where everything begins. Like Nezzy. We nicknamed Nezzy the president, Mr. President. Because Nezzy always says, oh, Mommy, I'm going to be the president. I said, well, maybe you might be the president of your own company. I don't know. In his mind, because he's a child, he can do all things. So why in my mind at 51, I can't do all things? I can, but I need to know that in my mind. So I'm telling you guys today, I appreciate you guys coming here. I want you to think about what all the speakers told you. I want you to get your mind right. Like in the hood, they say, get your head right. Get your head right. Know that you can do it. It's going to take some hard work. Like Greg said, Greg be getting up in Columbus at 4 o'clock in the morning, his time. And I ain't never went to sleep. I ain't never went to sleep because I'm up on the computer. I'm up trying to do stuff. I'm up baking cupcakes. I'm up testing out new recipes. I'm up because I got to show up. And when I show up, I love to show out. I just do. So I'm saying to you guys today, I appreciate you coming here. This crowd of 30 that's here, you ready to change your minds. When you change your minds, you can change your game. Be game changers. Kim, right here. You, don't act like I ain't talking to you. To make this happen today, I needed Kim to get some documents notarized. Kim's a mobile notary in the LA area, KDC Documents. She sponsored today as well. I needed some documents signed that took some feats to get done. We had to do some flips. We had to do a whole bunch of stuff. Late at night. Kimberly had to notarize some documents on a trash can for me. But we got it done. Because I was persistent. And Kim said, I got you. Regina, you need me? I got you. I seen Kim just that particular night. I know she's been a notary for a while. But I seen Kim as we rolled down the road and we stopped. We had to make these stops. Oh, if you ever need a notary, here you go. Oh, I'm a mobile notary. I'm actually on the job right now. Here you go. And I looked at her and I was like, look at my girl. She didn't even know I was paying attention. I was like, look at her. Now she telling people what she do. Because you should be. Yes. Stop hiding what you do. Right. Stop keeping it to yourself. You can't make no money with just you. If I tell nobody that I bake cupcakes, if I just eat them all, you're going to see that. But I tell everybody. I tell everybody about my book, Little Gina Bakes Cupcakes with Mommy. At first, Nessie couldn't understand. Mommy, why you keep telling everybody about your book? Who's going to read it? Just me and you? We need everybody to read it. Even if you don't have a kid, we need you to read it because you know me. And so as I kept drilling at him, he was like, oh, okay. Well, you know my mom has a book. He's over here at Pelican Hill in the kids club yesterday. Oh, Mommy, those cookies that you made, I told all the kids here they were going to bring them some. I was like, those are for my event? Oh, well, I was just telling the kids that you make cookies and you make cupcakes, and then we have some in our bungalow, and then we're going to bring some over. Because, see, I done got it instilled in him. So when he meets somebody that he doesn't know, oh, my mom has a book on Amazon. It's Little Gina Bakes Cupcakes with Mommy. And then I have my new book on Amazon. It's Children's 7 Days of Prayer, 7 Daily Prayers. And then my sister goes to school in Chicago, so he gives all the business. Because he's introducing himself. He's introducing his family, what we do. We were literally at the airport flying to Chicago a couple months last year. By the time we got up to the gate, people said, oh, we have your card. We live in L.A. You have my card. Yeah, that's your manager, right? My son? Yeah, he says he's your manager, and he gave us your cards. And you do cupcakes, right? Oh, yeah, I do. He gave you my card? Oh, yeah, when you were over there, TSA, he gave us your card. These magnetic ones, these your card? Oh, yes, they are. Put them on your fridge. See, he gets excited now to tell people what his mother does, as he should. Because I want him to get excited about what he does. I wanted him to get excited about doing the welcome today, about giving you guys the prayer today. I want him to be able to talk to anybody and everybody and tell them what it is that he does without being fearful of like, well, if I tell them, maybe they won't like me or maybe they won't use my product or service. If they don't, it doesn't matter. They know who you are and they know what you do. Some people say, Regina, you on social media all the time. You just post way too much, but I bet you know what I do, though. I might post all day, but I bet you know. You be like, Gina who? Gina, you know Gina. Oh, the only one I know, she like do the cupcakes. That's the one. Or she has that book, that Little Gina Bakes Cupcakes, but does she have a new book? Leap Don't Look from Employee to Entrepreneur? Yes, because that's what I do. Because I went from employee of Superior Court to entrepreneur because I wanted to. Because I prayed on it to do it. And the Lord gave me my confirmation to do it. So today is the fruits of my labor. Because this is my life by design. I'm tired of letting other people run my life and tell me what I can and what I can't do. I can do whatever I want to do. And today on August 19th, 2017, on what would have been my mother's 74th birthday, I present to you the Leap Don't Look Tour. I appreciate you guys. You're all a part of my journey. I appreciate you guys. My marketing team for pushing me, for getting on my nerves. Like Michael can't wait for me to wake up in the morning because he gets up at 4. And if I text him and say, he'd be like, good, because I've been up since 4. I've been trying to wait for you to get up because I got this idea. I'll be like, damn. Lisa, text me all day. I need this, I need this. Regina, I need you to stop. I need you to focus. I need this. And I'll be like, you know what? Y'all getting on my damn nerves. I do have to eat. Well, as soon as you put the fork down, we need this.
Because you don't understand what we're trying to do with you. You don't understand the level we're trying to take you to. So today is not just the conference. It is about each and every one of you, even you, Jasmine, about you guys leaping and don't look. And I'm going to tell you where that concept first came. I don't know if you guys noticed Anna. She was my lead volunteer coordinator today. She had to leave early. She had on a black one-piece jumpsuit. Anna just turned 20. Anna allowed me to speak on her platform last October. Anna said, Regina, can you speak? And I was like, oh, sure, okay. I was excited. But I had no topic. What am I going to talk about? I got this opportunity. What am I going to talk about? I literally was in bed sending her my bio and my photo. And something said, leap, don't look. I was like, leap, don't look. And then I got to thinking about it. And my speech just came like that. Because I had to leap and not look. Greg talked about it. Somebody talked about it earlier. Wherever you are, you got to jump. You can't look down, because when you look down, you get scared. I'm going to need you not to be scared. I'm going to need y'all to get it together real quick. Y'all know that song? Real quick. Is that right? Jasmine, no. I'm going to need y'all to get your mindsets together. Roshanda's watching me on Facebook. I was doing somebody's event. They invited me out with my cupcakes and my book in Woodland Hills. I never knew Roshanda. We've been knowing each other about a year. She inboxed me. Oh, Regina, I see you're going to be at so-and-so, so-and-so, and I would love to come out. Okay. She came out. We've been hanging tight ever since. She has her own radio show. How many kids you got? 5? 6 kids. She got her own radio show on acceleratorradio.net. 6 kids. And she's still doing it. She ain't let that stop her. Dallas, her brand new baby, 2 months old. Dallas is 2 months old. You can't let your situation stop you. She got a brand new baby. She can't let that stop her. I got my radio show on Facebook. But I'm going to get a real one. But Roshanna's not letting nothing stop her. Greg couldn't tell me, Regina, you know what? I can't make it because of my foot. I ain't going to be able to make it. He didn't do that. Melissa was having a hard time finding the right price for her tickets for her. Her husband David wasn't even coming at the time. She could have said, Regina, you know what? The airfare is just too high. I can't do it. I can't come. Deborah. Regina, you know what? I'm all over the U.S. and I ain't going to be able to come. They could have all told me no. They could have all backed out. Kimberly, right here. You, boo-boo. You know I'm talking to you. She nodded her head. CEO of Freddie Jones. She has an amazing spa product. Amazing. She has a special needs daughter. Is she letting that stop her? No. Because Brooklyn needs her to take her business to the next level. She needs it. So I'm telling you guys today, and I'm going to stop, and we're going to do Q&A and all that good stuff. Stop waiting. Stop. Y'all play too much. Stop. Just do what you need to do. If it doesn't work out, you ain't got nothing to be embarrassed about. Because you're doing more than the person that didn't show up today. And I'm out.
Now that was awesome. You guys. I have a quick question. Did anyone happen to go to the bathroom and find $20? And you went to the bathroom and you found $20? Just bring it back to the podium. Someone dropped it, but they're looking for it, so I just want that announcement. Yes. Okay, I'm kind of like lost. Like, that was great.
What are we on our agenda now?
Your agenda, baby, yes.
What time is it? I want to make sure.
It's
3:30.
Are we on time?
You got
No.
40 minutes off this one.
I tried.
How did that stop you?
You know, to stick. Look, what's the procedure, Frankie? Stick to the procedure.
Right.
So where are we now?
Okay, right now we're at the panel.
Okay. So do what you do.
Okay. Well, first of all,
Do the panel.
okay. So right now we're gonna do the panel. So we're gonna have questions and answers with the guest speakers. And this is Debbie D. Jones, Melissa, and Mr. Craig, and Ms. Regina. We're gonna get some chairs up here, and if anybody have any questions or answers, questions for the speakers, this is a great time to ask those questions, and they'll be sure to give you the answers that you need.
And if you have a question, you can stay where you are. We're gonna pass the mic to you.
We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
You know what, guys, I'm gonna ask you to come just a little bit closer because of the lighting. Jackie, Toastmaster Reports, pointed out that this is a dark space. That's why we moved the podium over there. You guys are wondering why the podium was at an angle, because a professional speaker noticed that we were in the dark. Thank you, Jackie. So I just ask you guys to come closer so we can be in the light. And Roshanda, I don't have any prepared questions, so whatever you guys want to ask, either one of us, then please participate and ask, because this is helping us develop our careers.
I have a question.
Yes. Where's the mic?
You have it.
Give it to him and just pass it.
As far as being an entrepreneur, what has been like the most major stumbling block in your entrepreneur walk?
Are you directing that to everybody?
To everybody.
Okay.
It's got to be a belief that you can do it. That's it. Once you get past the belief, we all have those questions in our mind. Can we do this? Can we can we bake these cupcakes when there's millions of cupcakes around? Can we become a speaker when there's people who've been speaking for 30, 40 years? Can we open a restaurant when there's people bigger than us? So once we answer those questions and we say yes because someone else has done it before us, that's when you make your breakthrough. That's when you unleash your greatness, is your belief system.
So I would agree. Can I do it? But can I do it again?
Yeah.
So I told you how I went from one figure and I went to 6 figures. But I need to add some zeros behind that, because I have a lot of people that I need to help. I have a lot of legacy that I need to leave. I need to have a bungalow. And so just the courage to do it again after you've done it, and not to become complacent and comfortable where you are.
Those are great answers. I think for me, mine was making the transition from being a lifelong learner, which we always are, to acknowledging that I have something to offer even though I'm not where I want to be yet, which is a different mindset, because we think, ooh, that person's teaching how to speak. Oh, I want to learn how to do that right. Oh, that person's teaching websites. Oh, I want to learn how to do that right. But in reality, I know how to do both. I do always need to learn how to do more, but I don't need to wait to learn that to get out there and do.
No, I think I asked a question. I said the stumbling blocks. Because that means, as far as I know everybody has different situations. Sometimes it's self-doubt. Right. Sometimes it's lack of support in our family. Sometimes it's finance. So the stumbling block. And once you got over that, then I'm pretty sure you leap. But what was that stumbling block that you have to kind of leap over?
Well, for me, my stumbling, which I could have let it be a block, but I never did. And I don't say this in a bad way. Some of you guys have heard me talk about it, but I don't say it in a bad way. For me, my father, years ago, and I said, oh, Dad, Daddy, because I call my daddy, Diddy, really, I call him Diddy. And I said, Daddy, you know what, I can bake as good as Ghani. Ghani was my grandmother. And he was like, you think so? I was like, yeah, I can. I bake really well, Daddy. I don't know how, but I bake really well. I said, I'm going to sell cakes. He went, Regina, nobody going to buy no cake from you. And I was like, Daddy, yeah, people, they like cake. I'm going to do cake and cupcakes and cookies. He was like, okay, good luck. That was my own father. He said nobody gonna buy cake from you, but y'all do. All the time. So that I could have let that be a stumbling block. And not that he meant any harm. He just never had any entrepreneurial spirit. My daddy worked very hard on the jobs that he worked as a printer. So it wasn't that he didn't want it for me. He just couldn't see it. So I say, when somebody can't see your vision, that's not your stumbling block, that's theirs. Maybe somebody couldn't see my vision for this event today. That doesn't mean that I don't do it. I do it to the best of my ability, and the next time I do it greater. So that could have been my stumbling block, my father not seeing that it could happen. And I'm not just saying cake-wise, I'm saying in a lot of things. You know, when my daughter went to school far away from us, he's like, "You're not going to let it go to LA Unified?" And I'm like, "Not if I don't have to." They gave her 95% scholarship. You know, I just think that's too far for her to go. Well, they putting her on the school bus. All I got to do is drop her off at the bus stop. My father couldn't see my daughter not going to traditional public school around the corner from us. He couldn't see it. But when my daughter was in first grade and she made the cover, just her and one other little girl, of their financial report, and I showed it to my dad, he said, "Oh, can you get any more of these?" And I said, "I guess." And I called the school. They said, "How many do you want?" I said, "Oh, 50. They said, "Regina, you don't have to be modest. You can have more." "Okay, give me 100. And they said, "Did you get those reports with Anaje, the one with her on the cover?" "Yeah, Daddy, I got some. How many need?" "Oh, I need about 30. "For what?" "I need to send them to Kansas City." "Okay, Daddy, we got 30 copies for you. But do you have any more?" "No." See, he couldn't see her going to Chadwick. But you best believe he supported her in everything that she did. He's like, "Oh, you know, my granddaddy goes to Chadwick." Where Chadwick? I never heard one like that. I know you can order some stuff from Chadwick's. "You know, it's in Palos Verdes. You know, she's been there since kindergarten, and she's graduating high school now." And I'll be like, "You the same one." So because my daddy couldn't see her going there, they don't stop me.
Right.
So just because somebody can't see your vision, it don't stop you. So don't let anybody be your stumbling block.
Right.
And my answer is over because I know I write it down.
In regards to writing a book, which I've been writing for 5 years and can't seem to get past chapter 5. So when I get off stage, I find that, you know, that crowd that comes near you, they want more. So I really need to get this book written. So I've considered now, because I'm a mother and I run a business, so I have time to do it, to sit down at the computer. What are your feelings on me hiring a ghostwriter? Just to get it done. I need a book and I need it quick.
Who are you talking to?
All
I'm ready to grab the mic.
Please.
Please.
Snatch her.
I'm sorry. And so you've been writing one book for 5 years.
I have.
And I understand that. So my book, which is How to Pray When You Don't Have Time, is a book that I wrote in 30 minutes a day. It's a 31-day devotional. I wrote it in 30 days. You actually do have time to write it. And here's the thing. When we are writing our books, we try to write the whole story at one time. And I'm going to tell you the problem with that. That's one book. That's one income. So, in addition to How to Pray When You Don't Have Time, this year you will also see How to Pray for a Successful Marriage. You will see Hidden Gems, because that's 3 books now, not 1. So you have time. What I would suggest really is that you set aside the time, which may be 30 minutes. That's a decent amount of time. And cut down what you tell them.
Okay.
Charge them for that in the next book. So the ghostwriter. Now there is a valid need at times for a ghostwriter. But again, if you've been writing your story for 5 years, you probably have enough content in this book to publish this book. If you didn't start with an outline, you need to go back and start with an outline. And I'm going to tell you how I know that this works. There's another lady that's an author in business with us. She is Chef Annette Byrne. You all know her. And when I talked to her, I said, "When you going to put your book out?" She said, oh, I'm writing it, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about doing that. Well, I know that she's a certified chef. She actually used to be the private chef of Penny Hardaway that played basketball a number of years ago. I said, look like you ought to have some content, something that you can put out there pretty soon. And she, well, I'm thinking about this. But she actually had an entire curriculum for healthy eating that she had written for a class years ago. I was like, girl, pull that stuff out. And so in that, she had recipes, she had this, she had that, and she wanted to make that into one book. I said, that's one in kind. So her book, Chef Nettie, Body Image, is on the shelves, okay? So just pull out what you have, look at it again, and perhaps even take it apart. Now, I'm not saying a ghostwriter is bad, but you're the truth. You right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're paid.
I love you, but I hate people. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources. What are you going to do with the ghost? Ghostwriters are $5,000 to $25,000. What does a ghostwriter do? Tell me who you are.
My name is Deborah D. Jones.
Okay. Your name is Deborah. Are you sending me that check and payments, or that's what a ghostwriter does? Stop lying to yourself. 16 niece and nephew's wife, right? 55 Subway stores, 210 restaurants. You got time. Oprah Winfrey, the Queen of England, the Obamas, me, everyone in here. We all have 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. What time do you wake up?
6 a.m.
Okay, 4 a.m. is 2 hours right there. What do you do on your lunch? If I told you, see, it's just not important. See, like I don't believe in procrastination. I don't. That's silliness. Because people here say I'm procrastinating, right? But if I say, who's in here in a cold climate weather? Someone was in Brooklyn or somewhere. Who was that? Used to live there. Was that you that lived there?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay, so you know about the cold weather, right? We know about it. So she might not want to get 2 hours early, right? But I'd say in January, sister, we're going to my place in Key West for a month. But you got to get up at 3:38 Monday morning. She'd be at 3:36, right? Because it's important to her. What's important to you? What you're telling me is you're just kind of stuck and you don't. Because you're making excuses what you're doing. You know you can get that. She said 30 minutes a day. Regina, 4:30 in the morning. Right? How bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, see, I should have saw you out here right now. You should have been out there eating with us. You should have had your fruit and stuff in here. Gina go by, what you doing, girl? Write my book. Right? Write my book. Because if I told you, we're going to pick out Alexis, do you have 2 hours to spend with me? It wouldn't be, I don't know, would it? No. If let's go buy your home and pay cash for it, would you find the time?
Let's go.
So you just have to make it a priority. You have to make it important to you, and that book should be important because with Regina, I'm sure she didn't write the book for her. That's the legacy. Her daughter, that's the legacy. What do you want to do? Remember I said don't hit the snooze button? Your grandchildren's grandchildren, that book will always be there. Once you get that ISNB number, that's in the Book of Congress, right? It's there forever. It's there forever. So you got to make it a priority. You got to leave here today. If you're at the hotel, listen, I'm sitting on the toilet right? That's real. Just doing it right. You have the same amount of time. Make it a priority. If it's not about you, make it about your child, your grandchild, whoever it is. But get it done. Make it a priority. It can't be I should. It has to be I must. I must get this book done. So whoever in here talks to you next month, that book should be done. That book should be done.
Not to cut you off.
Yeah, good.
So I had to learn a few things myself in writing with lots of other things on my plate. And a couple of years ago I read this book and it talks about how our mind does what we tell it to do. And I think we all kind of know that. But what the book said that I hadn't heard before was it's our body language and our choice of words that tells our mind to get it done. So for example, if I say, I had to do homework today, my body's be like, oh, I had to do homework today, right? But if you say, I'm so lucky I get to, and that's a choice of words, right? But then what that does is your mind goes, oh, I get to, right? So your mind changes. Now, I thought that was crazy. I tell you, got a shout out, I read that book, I was like, yeah, this is stupid. Then one night, I was driving home from work, and I had to get the groceries. And it was a Friday night, Friday afternoon. Oh man, I gotta get the groceries. Oh man, I gotta figure out dinner. And all of a sudden, right then, because I just read the book, I said, so I looked myself in the mirror, and I said, Melissa, you get to do the groceries, right? I have the money to buy the groceries. I have the family to make the meal for. And I went on and on. 20-minute drive home to the grocery store. I did that all the way there. And by the time I got to the grocery store, I was happy to get the groceries and excited to make dinner. Did it make it any better? Did it change? It didn't change anything, except it changed how I looked at it. Now, I have the same problem with my books, because I have a tendency to think all of these things I want to put in one book. And all of these things I want to do, but then I can't focus because I got all those things in my head. So it's like I said, the ramblings of Melissa kind of took me away from the book I needed to write. You probably have enough in your book right now to publish your book. You just may need to split it out some into smaller chapters. See, we have a tendency to think a book needs to be this big. Because that's what kind of books we read, right? Well, they may be this big. But we have a tendency to think that. So maybe it doesn't need to be that big. Think about that
The
too.
truth is, honestly, it's reliving the trauma during the writing.
But you're making it, don't make it about you, make it about someone else. When you make it about someone else, you're helping.
Bree, I know your story. Your story is traumatic. But your story ain't for you.
Right.
You know that. Your story has to help somebody else. So you done wasted 5 years when somebody needed your help. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be the whole story. Deborah just told you, all that content you have, that's probably already 3 books. I need you to stop. Cut it off and publish it. We're not on Lisa Nichols' level yet, but we can get there. Your book, Deborah just told you, doesn't need to be like this. Cut to the chase. Give them what they need. At the end, sequel to follow. Because I done read all this, I done got her story. Oh my God, I need to know what happened in her life. You got probably 5 books. You have a lot to share with somebody that's going through what you went through. So by the end of the week, your assignment is, you're finished with the book.
We want to connect you with Sean Wyman, who's one of the authors in business. As a matter of fact, Sean is on a tour right now for those that suffer trauma in their life. And he's a police officer in Florida. He shares his story in his book that was written in 14 days about the trauma that he suffered. And so somebody needs your story. They really do. And so he's going to help walk you through getting that book off of that paper, out of your head, into the stores and into the hands of the people that need the healing that they're going to get. And guess what? There's something about doing what you're supposed to do. There's something about opening yourself up to allow people to see how frail you are. That's going to heal you too. And I'm going to take this time to prophesy over your life right now and tell you that you are who you are because of what you went through. And you are more than what you think because of what God thinks about you. And your book will see the light of day very quickly, and it will heal the hearts and the minds of the readers and the hearers of the word. Thus saith the Lord God.
Regina said, people don't want thick books anymore. They don't. How thick is the Bible, right? Powerful verse. Jesus wept. Right? Powerful. Tell your story, help other people.
All right. Anybody have another question?
Hi. My question.
Who are you?
I am LaShawn. I am LaShawn Wilson. I became a self-employed entrepreneur of my own when I was 7 months pregnant. I joined a band. I asked my kids, I told my kids, I'm just going to join the band. And they go, where's your band? I'm like, I don't know. What's your band's name? I don't know. I just know I want to be in one. And 4 months later, I was in one. And it was a great ride. And I'm looking forward to do bigger and better things. But my fear has always stopped me. Number one, due to being put down by my own family and friends. I have a great aunt who always would tell me, nobody gonna pay to hear you sing. Girl, you can't sing. Ain't nobody gonna pay you to hear you sing. So 4 years later, I have 4 years worth of check stubs to prove somebody gonna pay to hear you sing. Right. But my fear of moving forward is after hearing all the stories and watching all these documentaries, people have to usually give up something so huge to go to that next step. Whether they lose a loved one that was really close, they even end up being homeless, but it's usually something so big and traumatic that I'm scared of putting my all into myself, because Jamie Foxx and Eddie Murphy and Tyler Perry, all the list goes on. They lost something so huge before they crossed over to the success. And I don't want to lose my happy little life that I've created. You know, I don't want to lose, you know, the things that I put energy and time and money into. I don't want to lose it. And my fear is that I'm going to be so focused on getting me there that I'm going to overlook something that I've been taking care of and lose it. And that is my fear. And I share that fear with so many other people that I speak with. They say the same thing. Like, you know, when we watch these, you know, documentaries and listen to you people at the conferences, that's what you tell us. You tell us, and I lost this and I lost that. And I'm like, I don't want to lose that, you know, so.
Let me tell you something. You said you and all these other people all don't want to lose something. When you guys can all not want to lose something and be saying, I looked at Jamie Foxx, I looked at Tyler Perry, I looked at R. Kelly, and they all lost something. But y'all over here in the corner trying not to lose nothing. You can't go on nobody else's journey. You got to see what you can do. LaShawn, and I say that you figuratively. I mean, you, it's in everyone. You got to see what you can do. You can't be going on what happened to Tyler Perry. Because if you stay over there in that corner with that group and y'all wondering about, well, ooh, something's going to happen, we're going to lose this. How you going to know? How are you going to know how far you can go if you don't do it? That's their situation. If I didn't do this conference today, how would I know how amazing it could be? If I said, well, you know what, so-and-so, they did a conference, they only had 2 people, or so-and-so did a conference, and they didn't have enough money, or so-and-so did a conference, they didn't sell enough tickets. How would I know? How would I know that my audience is being fed if I didn't do it? You got to leap and not look at everybody else in their situation. You've got to do your situation. And if it doesn't work, Deborah said you get a do-over. So do it. Don't look at all the others, what happened with them. Do you, boo? Seriously. You got to just go for it.
I don't know, I'll just say one thing. I don't know if you remember earlier I said to be an entrepreneur, it means that, basically it means that you manage a business and you assume the risk. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, it's risky business, but the rewards are greater. And in order to gain, you have to give up something. And so it may be that for some people that's going to be okay. Maybe you're okay where you are. I'm just not. If you want to be bigger, you got to go bigger. As a matter of fact, this dude, he's a big dreamer, but he's not just a big dreamer, he's a big doer. That's why he has what he has. And let me tell you something. This girl from 1247 South Christiana Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60623, you ain't seen nothing yet. You just saw one leap. But I'm not looking. I'm still leaping. I'm going to take the risk.
So I've been thinking about this since you started talking, and I still am thinking. But I think, so I have an example. When I took my job, my current job, as software consultant, the first assignment was 6 months in upstate New York. All of my family, my 3 children, my husband, they were all in Washington State. And my current boss, when I told her I was leaving, I was going to take this job, she said, "You're crazy. You got a family to take care of. You got responsibilities. You need to take care of that stuff." Now, I could have taken that and said, "Oh, you're right. Maybe I'll just stay right where I am." But I didn't. And I had the support of my husband, so that was good. But I didn't necessarily have the support of everybody. That's okay. You do what you got to do, and you do what your next step is. Don't worry about where it's going. Don't worry about what you're going to lose. The first thing you got to do is say, "I know I need to do this, and so I'm doing that because that's what I need to do." And the rest will either grow you and stretch you. Well, it's going to grow you and stretch you either way. But you got to do what you know your next step is. Even with the fear. I liken it to jumping in the pool. You hold your nose, close your eyes, and jump in. It's the same kind of thing, but you're super glad when you did it. Okay.
Remember I told you cut off the noise? Gina stole my thunder. Just because Jamie Foxx, that has nothing to do with you. I'll give you 2 examples. A girl's working at a bar. They're having tryouts for singing, right? Her boss says, "Go try for this singing competition." She says, "I can't do that. There's Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, all those people. There's millions of singers out there." Boss said, "You're fired unless you go do it." That girl's name is Kelly Clarkson. There's a heavyset black woman. "Mama, can I take off college? Can I take a college class?" Why? They're looking for a heavyset dark black singer for this movie that plays with a girl named Monique. And I fit it. But everyone keeps saying, "I'm not a star. I can't do that." Precious. Gabrielle, flying private now. Flying private. See, everyone else was doing it. She couldn't do it. Kelly Clarkson, all the singers already done it. They didn't listen. See, a horse has blinders on. Why? To block. It just sees straight. It doesn't want the noise on left and right. Jesse Owens, he's from Ohio State. He came, his wife came, and his people came to my class when I was in 6th grade. 1936, Olympics. They said, "Mr. Owens, when you're running against people, how do you concentrate with the guy on the left and right of you?" He said, "I don't understand." The guy said, "How do you concentrate with the guy on the right hand?" The guy says, "Are all you Negroes ignorant?" He said, "No, I just don't understand your ignorant question." He said, "Because when Jesse runs, it's Jesse running. There's no man to the left or right of him. So you need to define what your lane is. There's no Jamie Foxx. Stop saying that. How do you know, like Gina said, what you can be if you never start? Someone right now saying, "I'm faster than Carl Lewis." Someone's right now saying, "I'm better than Lisa Nichols," right? But they never started because they listened to the noise. Get rid of the noise in your head and do what you do.
All right. We're going to take one more question because we're on the time frame.
Jackie, if you think you're going to lose something, you will.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So don't go into the mindset of, "I got to lose something to get," because you will. So just
Do it.
I just want to add one more thing to that somebody shared with me. And they said, because I had some of the same fears, if you will, and she said, "Do you think that In-N-Out said, 'Oh, we can't open up because McDonald's sells hamburgers?'" And we use the fast food restaurant chains. Taco Bell sells tacos. Jack in the Box sells tacos. But do you think Jack in the Box says, "Well, we can't sell tacos because Taco Bell sells tacos"? And look at them today.
Thank you.
Focus on your own tacos.
I just wanted to address something about writing a book. I was a collaborative author on 2 books. I was the only man with 6 other women. It was a real interesting time. But when you write, it's so hard to find the time. You try to find time, you'll never find it. So what I did was, if I go to bed at 10 o'clock, I would start writing from 9:30 to 10, then go to bed. And if you go ahead and do that every day of the week, it really adds up. The second thing that's so important, why you need to write that book, people are waiting for you